Hey Samir, it's Matthew at freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses with Transitions Green for your Rayban 2132 New Wayfarer color 6052, which is the black crystal in the 55 eye size. So let me begin. I'm going to take your frame out of the original packaging that it comes in. Of course, your Rayban frame, your Italian leather Rayban case, and cleaning cloth. And this is your frame. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping, and of course I'm going to have all that provided for you too. Now they come with a heavy glass G15 lens, which I'm going to take out. Let me take out the heavy glass lenses, and I'm going to cut some unbreakable lightweight polycarb lenses for you. I just have to trace your frame into my edger. Let me just do a little programming here for 1 second. Everyone wants to know how the computer knows what shape lens to cut. This is why. This little stylus is going to pop up and it's go around. It's going to trace the shape of the right side of the frame before moving over and tracing the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Ray-Ban frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses if that's what you want. If you have vision insurance or flex dollars, my receipt has my federal ID tax number, so you'll be reimbursed from your purchase whether these are prescription or not. Now that is the shape of your lens, only magnified. Let me bring it down a little smaller like that. Go ahead and bring it back up. Now your pupillary distance is 62, which is 31 in each eye, so I'm going to go ahead and program that to 31, and we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and get your lenses prepped. Let's see, your right eye is -3 1/4. Let me go ahead and mark that one. Your right eye is -3 1/4. Your left is -350 sphere. This is the right and that is the left. And you're going to get all the manufacturer's original packaging to make sure you're getting Essilor brand lenses. So your right eye -3 1/4 sphere. I'm going to zero out my lensometer just to make sure that everything is on zero. It is. So I'm going to turn it to 3 1/4. Hang on, I need to get my flashlight. Where's my flashlight at? Where's my flashlight? I'm going to need that. So I'm going to take your right lens, put it in, find the optical center, and put a dot on your lens. Let me darken that a little bit more. We're going to mark that one right. R for right. Now your left eye -350 sphere, -350 sphere. Take it out of the original packaging. Put this in. Actually turn the power drum to -350. And put a dot on that lens, and let's label this one L. L stands for not right. Just like me, I'm not right either. So we're going to move down here. We're going to take your right lens. Now this is a block. I like to call it Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. How's that for special effects? Ooh. I spent millions of dollars in production of this video. I hope you enjoy it. Now, so I need a double-sided adhesive sticker to stick to your lens. So 3M makes those. Let me pull those off there. Let's go ahead and put the one on there. Now, the back of the lens is this little round magnet, that little button. That's going to do two jobs, and I'll show you in just a moment. But I'm going to pull the paper away. And these are made by 3M out of Minnesota. And that little magnet is going to hold it in place in this arm. The reason why I put a dot on your lens, that is your optical center. It's going to sit directly there in front of your eye. Just want to make sure everything's looking good, and it is. Get everything lined up just perfectly. That blue cross is the geometric center of your lens. Your eye is just inset from there. I'm going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto your lens. Let's do the same thing now for the left lens. Put that up there. Pull the paper away to make this side sticky. Line up the magnet so that stays in place. Get your lens set there where the optical center is just perfect. And the left lens is now applied the block to the left lens. Now the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center, that little channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel in your lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Where's the bevel? There it is. This bevel inside your black crystal. So Let's go ahead and take the right lens, and again that magnet is going to do its second job. It's going to hold it in place in the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. I'm going to wake up the computer. That is the shape of your lens. I know in advance that because of the 55 eye size I have to cut these a little smaller, and I may still have to take it down even more. I do not want to polish your lenses. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface, only the back, and I'm going to hit start. Now the door is going to close, that clamp is going to shut, and then your lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses to make sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame, which it is. It's going around measuring that, and of course measuring the thickness at every point to know exactly where to place the bevel so your lens fits best inside the frame. Now in just a moment the cutting wheel is going to move into place and your lens is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. You will know this because you'll hear a big grinding sound. Okay, so your lenses are made by Essilor. They're made out of polycarbonate. Essilor's name for polycarbonate lenses is Airwear because these are light as air. These are Transition 7 lenses. The GG means green, so these are Transitions green. These are the newest lenses available by Essilor. For years only Transition lenses came in gray and brown. Now they have the green to match the green G15 lenses that originally came in the Raybans. Now, your lens is polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They are virtually unbreakable. They are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes that will never need to be reapplied, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply when you go to the beach. This is permanent and will never need to be reapplied. Now that arm has just come into place. It has a little wheel on there that's looks like a wheel you would find on a Dremel tool. That is what's going to put the safety bevel on the convex front surface of the lens before moving over and putting it on the rear concave rear surface closest to your face. It's almost done. In just a moment the door is going to open and I will take your lens out, dry it off, and we're going to see if it fits into the frame first time around, which I severely doubt. I'll dry everything off there. Run my finger around to get any schwarf off around the edge. Now to see if it fits, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, push down at the nose, and it's not even close to fitting, so I'm going to take another 1/4 of a millimeter off. Let's go down 1/4 of a millimeter. Hit retouch. Now 1/4 of a millimeter, to all my American friends who have no clue, a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to do 1/4 of that, 0.25%, going all the way around the circumference of the lens until it fits into your frame easily. I don't want to force it in there. If a lens is too large, it will cause your frame to stretch, and over time, there's a term we in the business called roll. If you imagine your frame like a gutter, if this were too large, it would cause your frame to roll outward, shortening the life of the frame and definitely give you an ugly cosmetic appearance. And because I'm a perfectionist and I cut every pair of lenses that gets shipped worldwide, I am not going to send out any subpar work. All it takes is for one bad review on the internet to lose all credibility. And now the 400+ pairs of glasses that I've made videos for, I've made many more than that I've shipped, but I've made videos for at least 400 pairs of glasses. All of them have been perfect, as you can see. There's still a little optical sawdust going around the edge. You see it? It's coming around now. The technical term for that is schwarf. And all you Mel Brooks fans, this is when I would say may the schwarf be with you, but it's not, because I'm going to clean it off if the water spraying on there does not get it. So it's just about to finish. Let's open up the chuck, dry everything off, check for swarf, run my fingernail around, get all of that off. And I cut my fingernails today. I picked the wrong day to cut my fingernails. Picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Alright, all you airplane fans. Alright, so tuck it in at the outside corner using my thumbs. Push, whoop, 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 don't fight me. Push down at the nose. Let's see if I can push outward there. There we go, snaps in well. Let's go ahead and start cutting your left lens. Put it into the chuck. Again, I like to call it the Charles. Hit L and let's hit start. Just like before, I'm about to drop the flashlight. Just like before, the door is going to close, the clamp is going to shut, and then the lens is going to be traced by the two white styluses, making sure the lens is large enough to fit. It's measuring the shape of the lens now. And of course, it's going around twice, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness. And when I say edge thickness, look at that. With your lenses, you have no edge thicknesses protruding whatsoever out of your frame. So you're going to end up with the greatest cosmetic quality possible. So this block is no longer needed. I'm going to take it off, pull off that rubber sticker, and I'm going to put it darken that red dot so you can see it a little better. There we go. That is your optical center. That is going to sit directly in front of your pupil. Now, let's go ahead and check the power of the right lens. And when I spin the axis wheel, I'm getting -3 1/4, 3.25. That is the prescription of your right eye. Now, prescriptions work. The unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0, which we in the business call plano. Everyone else calls non-prescription, and goes up from there. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on. You're at -3 1/4. So you have 13 steps of minification. Without your glasses on, everything is much too large in real life. So your glasses actually minify. That's why there's a minus sign. It will minify down to the correct size. With your glasses off, my muscles look huge. Boom, boom, boom. When you put them on, they shrink down to that little chicken wing size that they really are. Now you need 13 steps of correction in your right eye. You need 14 steps of correction in your left. You need a little bit stronger in your left. You have no astigmatism correction, which is essentially the fine-tune knob. Astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. You have no issue with blurriness. You just have to make all the images the correct size. Now your Rayban 2132 6052 black crystal sells for $140 with one pair of prescription lenses with it. You paid an extra $50 to get the transitions green for a total of $190. Let's go ahead and take your left lens out. Come on out, come on out. Dry everything off. Inspect to make sure there's no more optical debris going around the edge of your lens. You see that? You see that? Scrape all that off. What do I do with your frame? I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Alright. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the corner. Using my thumbs, I press down at the nose and it snaps in perfectly. So let's go ahead and take this block off. It is no longer needed. Pull that sticker off, keeping that red dot on there. And let's go down and check the power of the left eye, and it should read -350. Look, halfway between 3 and 4. So we're at -350. I couldn't have cut that any better myself if I had done all the work. Wait a second, I did do the work. Now your pupillary distance is 62. I'm going to turn the card around. I'm going to put the 0 against my thumb on your right lens, and when we measure on the left, we're getting 62 millimeters. So that is made perfectly. Now Samir, this is the point in every video that I mention, that when you get these in the mail, and of course free shipping anywhere in the United States, but when you get these, there's a small chance that that these could be too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I am no different. I'll show you in just a moment, but for now I'm going to get it. But that's why all optical shops, well, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get this in standard alignment, also known as the 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter, press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, when I take mine off and I press down on the counter, they wobble, but they sit level on me. I'm going to flip this over, press down, no wobble, close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Now this is what your lenses look like clear. Let's go ahead and activate them. I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for the transition lenses to darken. Samir, pay attention, this is important. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks. The only time they will not darken is if you're behind the windshield in a traditional car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays to prevent your dashboard from cracking. That's why they won't turn dark in a car. You have to be outside. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning when it's 85 to 90 degrees and below, they get darker than they do when it's 90 to 100. I remind everyone, when it's in triple digits, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody likes to work 100% when it's triple digits outside. But after 2 weeks, they will be at their final hue. A joke, it's like a new employee on the job. You just got to train them for 2 weeks to get them right. So this is the first time they've been activated. This is the green lens, trying to mimic the Rayban green, and again, they're going to get this dark. Come on, Samir, we talked about this, don't you remember? So that is it. If anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Samir, I hope you enjoyed watching as I made prescription transition green lenses for your Rayban 2132, color 6052 in the 55 eye size, and everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.